Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, we are diving into a game that is near and dear to my heart. I never thought we'd see it like this. We're talking about Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. My first RPG on the PlayStation was Dragon Quest VIII, and that game was massive. It was a game about a slow burn, but this 2026 remake, Square Enix has given us something that feels entirely different with these new graphics. The game has a diorama aesthetic that looks like a living toy box, and the story is, well, it's like little stories all together that merge into a big one. Let's break down if this streamlined vision of Easter holds up, or if it loses the soul of the original in the process. Before we get into the story, we have to address the elephant in the room, the DNA of this remake. It's impossible to ignore the influence of Bravely Default 2. From the world map navigation to the way the character models are rendered with that chibi aesthetic, it feels like the team at Claytech Works took their engine and applied it directly to the world of Dragon Quest VII. The story still begins on Easter, the only island in a lonely world. Our hero, the fisherman's son, alongside Prince Kiefer and Maribel, discovers that the world wasn't always this empty. This remake expands on the childhood bond, making Kiefer's eventual arc feel much more earned. Once you start placing the magical fragments you found in your hometown in the portal gateway, you understand how huge this story will be. First, you have the woman monster, Maeve, where a tragic misunderstanding leads to a town's protector being feared as its predator. Then, you're off to Enjau, dealing with the volcano boss and the ritual that could seal the village's fate. But the one that always gets me, the island where the people have been turned into animals. Seeing those tiny diorama-style dogs and cats wandering around, knowing they used to be human, is heartbreaking. The game captured that classic Dragon Quest sadness perfectly, even with the new art style. Now, let's talk about the reimagined part of the title. The world building here has been shortened in comparison with the original. In the original, getting to the first battle took hours. Here, you're in the past within 13 minutes. The world map is no longer a sprawling, empty void. It's a series of interconnected, highly detailed zones.
Hold on.
They've introduced a moonlighting system for vacations, which is a game changer, almost like the jobs from Bravely Default 2. You can now level up 2 jobs at once, meaning you don't have to grind for 20 hours just to get a decent party composition.
He's a feisty one. So yeah, I'm all for it. What do you two think?
I think it's a great idea. But what should we call him? Wolfie. Oh, seems a bit obvious. Loopy. It's a bit strange. Hey, I know. What about Howler? Ruff. Ruff. Oh, I see. Ruff's your name.
However, because they've cut some of the filler islands, the world feels smaller. You're moving from beat to beat at a breakneck pace. For a modern audience, it's a godsend. For the purists, you might miss the feeling of being truly lost at sea.
Right. On 3. 1.
Combat is what sold me in this game, and where the Bravely Default influence really shines. It's snappy. We still have the classic turn-based menus, but the animations are lightning fast. The biggest addition is the instant combat mechanic. If you're overleveled for an area, you can just swipe at an enemy on the overworld, and they poof into golden XP. No transition, no waiting. It keeps the flow of exploration going beautifully. But when you get into the boss fights, like that Volcano Guardian, the strategy depth is still there. You have to manage your buffs and debuffs, because even though the game is shorter, the bosses still hit like a full moving speed train. The moonlighting combos allow for some really creative builds early on, like a warrior mage hybrid that can naturally hold its own.
Oh, cheers! Hatta!
One thing I absolutely love is how they handle the difficulty sliders. If you're like me and you find modern remakes too easy, you can fix it without making the game a grindfest. In the settings, I recommend setting monster strength to strong while keeping its experience gain at normal. I have to be honest with you guys, this game is not perfect. There is one major flaw that pulled me out of the experience: the loading screens. Every time you enter a building, every time you transition from the world map to a town, you're hit with a black screen. In 2026, on modern hardware, this shouldn't be happening. It's only 3 to 5 seconds, but when you're playing a game that encourages you to duck in and out of houses for loot, those seconds add up. It breaks the diorama illusion. It feels like the agent is struggling to swap assets, and it really takes the wind out of the sails of what is otherwise a very polished experience. I'm hoping for a patch, but right now, it's a noticeable flaw. The world map has seen a massive structural overhaul. In the original version, there were 18 pedestals to fill. In Reimagined, they streamlined this down to 15 main story islands. For all portable console fans out there, I spent about 15 hours playing this on the Steam Deck. Despite those loading issues, it is a fantastic deck game. The diorama art style looks incredible on an OLED screen. The colors really pop, and the small-scale models feel like they were made for a portable console. For me, it runs for more than 100 FPS using lossless scaling for the most part. Though, you'll see some dips in the more particle-heavy areas like the Volcano Island. This is definitely the way I'd recommend playing it. Since the day I saw the first images of this game, I knew it was a Steam Deck must-play. So, at the end of the day, is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined worth your time? If you've never played 7 because you were intimidated by the length, absolutely. This is the most accessible version of one of the greatest stories in the series. It's charming, it's beautiful, and it respects your time.
I am back to the normal.
What? No way! He just turned into a cow!
It's true?
Now, let's talk about the squad. One of the biggest surprises in Reimagined is that for the first time, you can actually travel with all 5 heroes at once. In the original, you had to leave someone behind at the Abbey. But now, you have a backup character you can swap in mid-battle.
See for yourself, see? The humans are soon turned back into the animali. Scusami, amici. I know it's not your problem. You are only visitatori, no? But is no one else who can help? Per favore, you must do
However,
something.
if you're a die-hard fan of the originals 100-Hour Odyssey, you might find this version more childish. But man, seeing these characters again, seeing Kiefer's story expanded, and feeling that sense of wonder as a new island rises from the sea, it still gets me. Loading screens aside, it's a trip down memory lane that I'm glad I took. But what do you think? Do you like the new art style? Or do you prefer the classic sprites? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell me which game should I do next. And never stop playing.